Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Let's talk about Caste Census today. And let's talk about Caste Census from BJP and Mr. Modi's perspective. Has Mr. Modi taken a U-turn on Caste Census? Let's also talk about, is Caste Census good for India? Is it good for our country? Let's talk about Caste Census. Let's get right into the show. So let's categorize this subject into 4 different categories. Okay, na? So we'll talk Caste Census and we'll divide it into subtopics. The first point that I want to discuss with you is about Caste Census. What is Caste Census? Then let us discuss Caste Census from a Bharatiya Janata Party and Mr. Narendra Modi perspective. Then let us discuss Caste Census from Congress and Rahul Gandhi perspective. Then let us discuss whether Caste Census is good for us. And then finally you take the call whether it is good or bad for the country. Okay, na? So this is how we'll go about it. So let's first talk about Caste Census. Caste Census is not new to India. It is new to modern India, but it is not new to the pre-independent India. Right from 1881 and to 1931, we had Caste Census and those numbers were published. Acha, 1941 also we had Caste Census. They took the census, they tabulated the numbers, but it was not displayed to people. So technically speaking, 1881 to 1931, but actually speaking, 1881 to 1941, we had Caste Census. Okay. 1951, the independent India decided we don't want Caste Census. Don't want to divide anymore. No more Caste Census. We decided to have broad categories, 4 broad categories. One is scheduled caste. Second is scheduled type. Third is other backward class. And fourth is the general category. So we had 4 categories. This is, and within this also included Hindu, Muslims, the communities. So that's how the government of India saw it. When Bharatiya Janata Party initially dealt with Caste Census, or when they were confronted with Caste Census, they were livid. Bharatiya Janata Party said that there is no way that we will ever do Caste Census. You are trying to divide Hinduism by doing Caste Census. Hinduism was already ridden with caste issues and you are now going to create more casteism. Number 1. Number 2, you see, it was not politically so wise for Bharatiya Janata Party to dwell into caste system. You know why? Bharatiya Janata Party's vote bank are Hindus. Now, if you divide Hindus into OBC, Kurmis, Dalits, Thakurs, Brahmins, if you want to do more division, obviously you are dividing your own vote bank. So Bharatiya Janata Party and the right wing, which focused on Hindutva politics, they said nothing doing. There is no way that we are going to get into Caste Census. In fact, to just give you an example, Mr. Narendra Modi had said that when Rahul Gandhi spoke about Caste Census, he had said that this entire thought is of urban Naxals. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. This is urban Naxal thought. What is Caste Census? In fact, he went on to say that see the manifesto of 2024. It has the imprint of Muslim League. The way they are flaunting the constitution and the way they are insulting Ambedkar. There is a threat to reservation of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Should I inform the people of the country about this? I believe it is the responsibility of learned people who are rich in knowledge, who are unbiased to educate this country, to tell the right things. This is what Prime Minister Modi had said. And how can you have more caste census? Which means you are going to eat into scheduled caste, scheduled tribe reservations. So he said everything everything in his power, in his understanding, in his capacity to ensure that people go against caste census. This was Bharatiya Janata Party stand and this was Narendra Modi's stand. Now, Bharatiya Janata Party stand, why I say? Because right from Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they were never for caste census. L.K. Advani was never for caste census. So, Bharatiya Janata Party was never for caste census and Narendra Modi continued to do so. I told you the reason why. Now, what made the change? Did Rahul Gandhi's insistence or did Rahul Gandhi's presence or did Rahul Gandhi's speech made a change, made them change their heart? Actually, the answer is no. The answer is no. The reason why Bharatiya Janata Party has conceded to caste census, now mind you, before I get into all this, you see, they have made a statement that they will do caste census. First of all, we don't know the date of census. We don't know the date of census. Now, a lot of things are dependent on the date of the census, which is not clear to us. What? The delimitation is dependent on the date of census. The women reservation bill, to some extent, is dependent on census. So, we really don't even know when the census is going to happen. But the BJP minister has said that when census happens, then we will also add caste census into it. So, for starters, that's the first big question mark. Chalo, let us assume since the BJP minister came and said that we are going to do caste census will happen. Now, why is BJP conceding to even think of doing caste census? Let me put it that way. You see, if you see Bihar and Uttar Pradesh in the last Lok Sabha, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh lashed out at BJP because they were not pro-caste census. They lashed out of BJP and they rewarded India Alliance, India Bloc, whatever it's called. They rewarded India Alliance because they spoke caste census. Let me give you some figures. And these figures thanks to India Today. NDA lost 12% of Kurmis. India Alliance won 9%. OBCs, NDA lost 21% vote of the OBCs, 21% vote, and India Alliance won 1 and others won 20% vote. Jatav, they lost 19% vote. India Alliance won 28% vote. Others also lost 9% vote. The other scheduled caste, they lost 18% vote. That is, Bharatiya Janata Party and as Alliance lost 18% vote and India Alliance won 38% more from other scheduled caste. So this is what Bihar looked like. The scheduled caste, the scheduled tribe, the OBCs literally disowned Bharatiya Janata Party. They lashed out at Bharatiya Janata Party, went and voted for India Alliance because India Alliance wanted caste census. India Alliance made caste census happen and Bharatiya Janata Party was seen as against caste census. Now let us go to Uttar Pradesh. Bihar mein to gaya. Now Uttar Pradesh. Two big huge states of Bharatiya Janata Party. Let's look at Uttar Pradesh. Kurmi, Bharatiya Janata Party lost 19%. India won 20% more. Others lost 1%. Other OBCs, NDA lost 13%. India Alliance won 16%. Others lost 3%. Jatav, Bharatiya Janata Party and others, NDA won 7%. India Alliance lost 50% and others won 43%. So here the beneficiary was the others. And other scheduled caste, Bharatiya Janata Party lost 19%. India Alliance won 14% and others won 5%. अब इशू ये है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी was worried. It was no longer something that, Modi could stand in a rally and say, and, they are taking SC/ST vote, they are taking a reservation and things would change. It didn't. It didn't. The other backward class, SC/ST, reacted and said, no. They said, we want caste census. Very clear. Bharatiya Janata Party had no choice but to kind of agree to it. You see, if you look at 2019 Lok Sabha, All India, and NDA support among OBC and SC/ST across India in 2024, NDA, upper Hindu OBCs, they went down by 4%. India went up by 11%. Hindu lower OBCs, NDA was almost the same, but India Alliance went up by 7%. Scheduled caste, India Alliance went up by 7%, BJP lost or NDA lost by 5%. SC/ST, NDA went up by 6% and India Alliance lost 6%. So primarily, predominantly, even all India, it affected the Bharatiya Janata Party. There are a lot of right-wing channels currently saying that, why is Bharatiya Janata Party doing this? Right-wing channels are, by the way, people who think right-wing, who promote right-wing ideology and all of that. A lot of them are today questioning Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party, saying that, क्यों किया? Haryana जीता ना? Did you do caste census? But Haryana जीता ना? Maharashtra जीता ना? Delhi जीता ना? You see, yes, जीता. There's no point about it. This Bharatiya Janata Party won these 3 states. But Bharatiya Janata Party had to literally kind of appease, fall at the feet of these caste leaders. You see, the fact is, elections, one election can be won by, kind of focusing on one person, appeasing that particular person and winning that election. One elections can be won, but that cannot be an election strategy. And in Bihar, for instance, and Uttar Pradesh, like I told you in my data, it was very clear that Bharatiya Janata Party was losing the support of OBCs, especially scheduled caste, scheduled tribe included. So therefore, BJP had to take a permanent decision, a concrete strategy to appease these communities and to take them back in their fold. So just saying that, you won 3 states, so why do you need to do this again? May not make sense in a long-term political perspective. Now, all this put together made Bharatiya Janata Party realize that, Baba, this is problem. This could lead into a lot of issues in the coming Bihar election and the future Bharatiya Janata Party prospects in India. So, election के लिए कुछ भी करेगा is normally been the motive of Bharatiya Janata Party, and they continue to do that. So therefore, one was not very surprised that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party, after calling people who asked for caste census urban naxals, agreed to caste census. ठीक है ना? So my point number 2 clear. Point number 1, we discussed what caste census was. Point number 2, we discussed the Bharatiya Janata Party and Narendra Modi perspective. Now point number 3, let me discuss Congress Party and Rahul Gandhi's perspective. Now, the point that I want to make is, it is not Bharatiya Janata Party and Narendra Modi alone who took a U-turn in caste census. No. Congress also took a U-turn. Let me be very clear about it. Now, this is the point we should be very aware of. You see, in 1951, why wasn't there caste census after India became independent? There was no caste census because Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said no to caste census. He said, nahi karna hai. We shouldn't be having caste census. We shouldn't divide the society more. He too was the opinion that you are going to divide the society if you have further caste census. So that is why he said we will have 4 broad categories. Like I told you, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward class and general category. So technically, Congress took a U-turn, isn't it? Rahul Gandhi took a U-turn. Because end of the day, Congress ideology is based on the Nehruvian theory. And Nehruvian theory says that caste census is not good for the country. Rahul Gandhi felt that there was a need and there was a possible support for caste census. He put his might behind caste census, took a reverse from the original Congress ideology of not promoting caste census, and here we are. We finally have caste census in this country. Now, this is what the Congress point of view is. Now, let us come to the last part of the editorial and talk about, is caste census really helpful? You will decide that. But let me put a few points. You see, if you have to promote a community, if you have to support a community, if you have to alleviate a community, you need data about that community. You need facts and figures about that community. Once you have facts and figures about that community, then you can invest in that community, then you can support that community, then you can cooperate with that community, and then you have an opportunity to alleviate that community and bring it to a respectable position so that it can from there on grow on its own. Now for that, data is important. For that, caste census is important. Caste census is not just about reservation. Caste census also, mind you, which I don't know why people are not talking about it, is also about investments. Is also about investments. If you get investments in areas where you have scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward class, Hindu lower OBC, if you identify those pockets, identify those ghettos, get investment in those ghettos, you are elevating that community. Forget about reservation for a minute. We are living in an investment world. If you ensure that people there are promoted to do something new, promoted their businesses, their handicrafts, their produce, if that is promoted, focused on that particular community, focused on that particular area, you promote their produce, you promote their businesses, you promote their education, you're elevating that society, that community. Forget reservation. And of course, wherever reservation is required, you also offer reservation. So, this is one very important aspect of collecting data. Census, caste census. Okay. Now let's look at the other aspect. Has these politicians who proposed reservation after reservation for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, have they really managed to alleviate the current situation of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs to the extent what they should have? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. You know why? Because reservation was used not to actually alleviate that society. Reservation was used to appease that particular society, appease that particular community, appease that category at that point in time, especially during elections. It was used as an appeasement tool. It was used as a tool that can win them vote banks. It was used as a tool that can win them votes. There were several parties, there are several parties in India that claim to be, Bahujan Samaj, that claim to be focusing on Dalits and on scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. What have they actually ended up doing for them? What percentage of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe they have alleviated? How has they changed their lives? We are 75 years of independence today. We all should have been in that equal status, equal paradigm. Are we? Why not? Why not? Either your tools are not right, your systems are not right, your processes are not right, or your intentions are not right. I think it is about the intentions. So the fact remains that if you look at it from a political perspective, and especially the political kind of scenario that we have seen so far, you will have census. The numbers may come out, but finally, they may not be used for alleviating those people. It will be used for appeasing, and that too short-term appeasement. Once that voting is over, projects are over. This is a possibility. Today's Hindustan Times, there's a headline which says, state diverts SC/ST funds for Ladki Bahin. State is Maharashtra in this case, diverting scheduled caste fund to ensure that they fulfill their election promises, or they try to fulfill their election promises till the municipal elections are over. And then that too gone. Whose funds? Scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. This is a Hindustan Times news. The point that I'm trying to make in a larger level, this is what happens. Is our political dispensation, is our political parties, are they really interested in alleviating the scheduled caste, the other backward class? So that's the point we also need to consider. Now you write down in your comment box below, is caste census good for India? Are we dividing India further? Are we dividing Hinduism further by kind of creating more caste consciousness? Or are we identifying weaker sections of the society and ensuring we can help them, we can alleviate them? Think about it. Think what could happen if caste census happens and we get our numbers. What could happen and how would it help India or harm India? That's a point. I leave it to you. That's a decision. I leave it to you. I would love to hear your point of view. Please write down in your comment box below. Until I see you next time, that's day after tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.